Okay guys, my name is Larry McCoy. I'm pushing 83 years of age. The first thing is I want to do is, this is dedicated to my deceased brother, Jack McCoy. I want to thank my grandson Eli. He's the one responsible for actually making that happen. And his dad, Charles McCoy, has been a great help in the project too. You guys, younger guys, like the movie American Graffiti. I lived it. But today I'm an old man. You guys are young guys today. So I want to tell you about a project that we done. And I backed up and retraced the years, but we actually built the engine in 1972 and 73. I read an article in some magazine where the six-cylinder guru of America, K. Sissel, was going to build a Chevy 6 engine with Ford Boss 302 heads. That is, that's where I got the idea. Went down to the local Ford garage and they said, yeah, we got two of them heads in stock. How much is two of them? It was $104 for two heads. So I bought two heads and took them to my brother's and showed him. Well, at that point, he kind of fires up a little bit. He thinks the idea is great. And I want to point out that Jack probably furnished maybe 70% of the money that went into the engine. I probably furnished 60% of the labor and the ideas. The idea was mine, maybe crazy at the time to think that we could do it, but we set out to do it. So the first thing on the project that you got to do is you got to take your standard six-cylinder block, plug all your head bolt holes, and there'll be about 14 of them in a six-cylinder block. You got to plug, drill, tap them, screw a big old plug down in them, because some of your new head bolt holes will catch the edge of it, and then some of them will actually catch about a third of the plug. We done that. A machinist assured me that, hey, that will work and it'll be plenty strong. Well, it was. That's the first thing you do, is alter your head bolt pattern. And in the meantime, I had a cousin, he was going to tool and die school. He took cylinder heads, put them in a drag type hacksaw with new blade, set the speed real slow, got the lube going, turned it on, and believe it or not, them heads looked like they had been milled when they were done. The heads surfaces where the heads butt together have not been machined. That hacksaw done a great enough job. So now we've got a block there and the holes plugged and a couple pieces of iron that we hope is going to be a cylinder head. I took a new Ford gasket and got my bolt holes located. We drilled and tapped in. Hey, things is going pretty good at this point. We dropped the head down on there and hey, all the bolt holes is lining up. We're on a roll. Then we had to weld the heads together. So we cut bolts, something in the neighborhood, maybe 10 inches long, I don't know, out of all thread. We screwed them in the block and dropped big block Chevy wrist pins down over every one of them. Dropped the head on, bolted it down, got it lined up. I mean, absolutely perfect. At that point then, we had to lay it up on our old coal burning furnace. This was in July, mind you. We had to lay it up on a coal burning furnace, far the dickens out of it. We took the head and the block down off the furnace. It was probably somewhere around 800 or 900 degrees. And we positioned it there. I started welding on it with a torch, tip, and a brazing rod. So that's how I put the head together. The spacers, so we could turn it upside down and I could get into the cavity there to braze it across the bottom. We let it cool till the next day. Took the head off, took it to the machine shop, automotive machine shop, got resurfaced, and warpage was very, very minimal, like 0.008 of an inch. Really proud of it at that point. So now we got a head to the bolt on. We got some holes. Jan's piston made us a set of pistons for the engine. The engine 310 cubic inches, bored out 125 over, and they are flat tops because with the cubic inches we had per cylinder and the cavity we had, we were talking pretty high compression ratio. So now we've got the hole stopped up. Jans, they cut the eyebrows in the pistons there so the valves are clearance at the proper point. Hey, we're looking pretty good there. Got down to the point of actually building the engine. I don't quite know where to start on this, but you notice the magneto is sticking up high here. Meantime, the months had passed, this guy K. Sissel, he had got his engine built, got it running. And we saw him at the U.S. Nationals. That engine was not in his car. We questioned him. Well, he said, I made a 90-degree mag drive and it messed up, burnt the engine down the first full run in the quarter, burnt the engine down. He wasn't going to try it again. So I got thinking we were going to use the 90-degree drive. That ain't a very good idea, maybe. So how are we going to mount the mag? Well, the way the head, the intake ports and all that, the mag drive is about this long, but that leaves the magneto up here. It's just a direct drive shaft. So that took care of that problem. Meantime there, I'd fabricated this intake manifold. Didn't have anything to put on it. Excuse me. I did not fabricate this box top part. I fabricated the runners. Cut up some, I forget, Olds or Pontiac injectors and made adapters, bolted them on. So now we've got injectors there. And when I went to this style here, them injectors were in use on another engine. So I didn't have them. I had a set here of small block Chevy injectors. We cut them up, powered them, made the box. So what you see is the injection system. The drive, I don't know if the camera will catch the drive, but the drive is mounted down here, about standard fashion. The drive, all that, this drive, the manifold is all custom made. Harlan Sharp, we got a set of Harlan Sharp roller rocker arms, and that's what's underneath the valve cover. Meantime, we've got everything but a very important camshaft. Now the lobe sequence on the cam is different. So initially there, Joe Lenotti, good cam grinder, good racer. Joe Lenotti, he took a cam, he welded 6 lobes up on it, ground us the cam. Well, we put it in, we got it running, but the lobes, that didn't last very long. No reflection on Joe Lenotti camshafts. They were very good cams. So we were at the Nationals there and talking to somebody, and they said, well, call old man Crower up. He'll make anything you want if there's a dime to be made. So we did. It was Mr. Bruce Crower, ran Crower camshafts. He ground us a nice roller tappet cam and furnished the lifters, the kits, everything, you know. So we put it in, we got it running, and we took it to the 8th mile strip at Terre Haute, Indiana. First run off the trailer, we were satisfied with it, but it was 6:64 in the 1/8 of a mile. Well, come back, we tinkered with it a little bit, put a little more timing in it. The second run was 6:32, which for 1974, 1973, that was a hooting right along. And we took it home, but I made a mistake as I didn't think this out real good. We determined that we needed bigger nozzles in our injectors. So we got a set of 8A nozzles for the injectors. And meantime, we were at the Nationals there. We didn't think the cam maybe was performing like we wanted. However, it might have been better than what we were wanting. But what I done is we sent the cam down to Crane. Harvey said, send it down. I'll put a grind on it, wake it up. He did. He put a coffee cam grind on it. Very good grind. And that's the story on the camshaft end. But like I said, Crower Cams was involved, Harvey Crane was involved, Jan Spisson, but it was all old names there. And Next time we went back to strip, the low run was the 606. 118 mile an hour, an eighth mile, 606. Well, now we're getting to some serious numbers. This is all guesswork, guys, but we think there that when we changed the engine, our horsepower went from about 300 to maybe around 450 horse. What does that do? That changes the entire characteristic of how your car handles. We had bad traction problems. When the car would take off, it would lift the left front wheel just a couple inches, run out that way. We had a clutch fight in it. You shift to second gear and still hold that left front wheel up. At that point, I quit driving the car. Scared the crap out of me. My brother there, he's a pretty bold driver there, and he got along just fine with it. But that's the story of how we built this engine. Naturally, this video hopefully will be on YouTube here in a week or two. I can't think of anything else to fill you in on it. Initially, we put a set of super rod aluminum rods in it. We thought pretty good, and that was about all that the budget would allow. We ran it into 1974. It got to spitting and slobbering one day of water, and it had cracked a silver ball. Well, we took it home, and we'd actually been offered, there was a small block dragster group that was touring the Midwest, and we'd actually got offered a position on it. Well, with our jobs and everything, we couldn't do that. But we felt very honored that they asked us. I said, hey guys, it ain't a dragster. They said, no, but it runs like one. So that was pretty much for the career on the Boss 302 Ford headed engine. It ended. And I've heard a request from some people, hey Gramps, will that engine run? Well, I don't know. We're going to have to do some repositioning here to blow the exhaust out of the garage, get the neighbors all out of bed so they won't be startled, alert the police department so they won't be making a bunch of runs. Might even alert the fire department, I don't know. But that's all a joke, guys, but we're going to fire this thing up here in just a little bit. Can you believe that engine actually fired up and ran? Quite possibly, this is the only Chevy block to Ford head conversion left in the United States today that will run. There's guys are currently still doing 300 Fords to the big heads. Fords I don't know too much about, you know, but that was a Chevy 6 to the Ford Boss 302 head conversion. Like I say, guys, American Graffiti, I live part of it. Thank you.